this video, I'm going to tell you the 6-phase system that we use at gyms with video content to recruit franchisees. And the impact of this has been insane. Doing this since 2019, we've grown by net 2,100 franchisees, and we've actually sold 8,400 franchises, with more than 99% of them saying that video was a major part of their decision. So I'm going to tell you about that framework today and the systems and the different levels that you need in place to make this work. So let's face it, franchising is a low trust industry. You know, if you ask anyone in Australia, for example, where I'm recording this video from, what they think about being a franchisee, they'll say, why give someone 40% of all your earnings to do nothing? Why not just start it yourself? It's far easier. Why don't you want to do your own brand? All these sorts of objections. So we need to get over this really low trust and skepticism in franchising. And the best way that you can do it is with video. Also, it will reduce your costs. Doesn't matter if you're in Australia, New Zealand, UK, the US, there's franchise development costs which keep going up and up and up. Yet brands want to keep throwing money into broker portals or to agencies as well without having a video foundation in place. So right now I'm going to tell you about the 6 different phases of trust you need to build online with videos that will make this all work and really propel your franchise brand growth. So let's start with the foundation. Now, if you skip everything else without this, it's not going to work. And the first foundation you need to have in place is the founder of the system in content online. Now, this is extremely important. It doesn't matter if you're a massive established brand which people actually know, or a new franchise brand or a mid-tier brand which most people probably might know. Having a founder that's active online, on social media, appearing on podcasts, has its own YouTube channel, can really add to a level of trust, because a lot of the time people will follow the personal brand account and not the corporate account. And this is really evident with what we do with Jim on LinkedIn. Jim has nearly 50,000 followers on LinkedIn, which I did in a really short amount of time compared to our Jim's group page. And the reason being is because people want to connect with people and follow his entrepreneurial story. So if you're starting a franchise brand or got an established brand, you have a great entrepreneurial story as a founder, and that should be online for people to consume. Because I can tell you right now, when I meet a lot of people in training, a lot of them don't say the meta ad that I saw or whatever it was. They'll say, I saw a TikTok with Jim, or I heard him on a podcast, which is the first thing that actually got him interested into us in the first place. So share your story. It's extremely powerful. So once you have your founder online and you've got a channel where you're going to put consistent video content, the next thing you want to do is really embrace and allow franchisees to create content on their own level. Franchisee generated content has been huge for us. And what I've been learning recently is that a lot of our prospects who search about gyms will actually find franchisees directly on Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok, and actually send them messages about being a franchisee in the system before they even inquire. Before even speaking with a franchisor or a sales rep, they are actually messaging franchisees on social media. Now, if you're not a good franchisor, you're probably not going to want that. But if you're a good franchise brand and you support your franchisees, how powerful is it that a prospect can actually talk to your franchisee directly without you even knowing about it, and they're telling them how good it is, right? Makes for a far easier sale. Not only that, the views that your franchisees can generate on their own social media account really builds the brand, and quite frankly, they are great content creators if you give them a bit of license to do so. So that's the second phase in this process. So you want to have franchisees being able to post on content, and you want your founder active on social media with video content as well. So the next phase is making sure you put out a lot of short form video content for discovery. So we've all got long form content or long form pieces of content, but you need to then chop that up to make sure it goes into short form content, which gets distributed on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, even LinkedIn, could be even Snapchat, all these different places as well. So making sure you're maximizing the reach and getting as much attention as possible via organic channels with modern day social media. That's one thing that a lot of brands don't do, and that's something in gyms we've been doing for a consistently large amount of time. And quite often the first interaction that they have with our brand is from scrolling through social media and seeing a clip of the Gym's podcast or seeing an interview with Jim or whatever it is, and that being the thing that prompts the idea of being a franchisee into their head, and they go and do research more. So short form content for your awareness channel, and then that all feeds into everything else that you're doing. Now after that, you're getting attention online. What you then want to do with the short form content is you then want to make sure that they know you've got a long form podcast. So a long form podcast where you interview franchisees. Franchisors could be in people in the business, because what's going to happen is the short form content over time, hopefully they see it, is then going to give them enough interest to then invest the time to watch a long form interview with the franchisee and to hear from their 45-minute or 60-minute experience about what it's like in the system. The reason why the long form podcast is so powerful for franchise brands is because let's face it, they probably don't trust the person trying to sell them the franchise as much as they're going to trust an actual franchisee doing it. And when you give a platform to a franchisee to speak for 45 to 60 minutes, it's really hard to hide and fake your pleasure or displeasure with the system in that interview. So making sure you have as many of those online as possible really does build a lot of trust. We've had new prospects in training listen to 200 to 300 episodes before even inquiring, and they were already sold from all that content we've got online with our franchisees. So a franchisee podcast is an absolute must for any brand in 2026. Now, once you've got a consistent podcast in place, you want to make sure that all these videos live on a central location that is accessible all the time. And the best place for that is YouTube. So having a YouTube channel is the best franchise recruiter in my opinion, because those videos can be consumed at any time. Those videos can then be linked out in information packs, nurture sequences, SMSs, whatever it is. Those videos there are going to get accessed while you sleep, and people are going to build trust by watching those videos. And the great thing about YouTube is now a lot of people will stream it on their TV when they come home. If they've started watching some of your videos, the algorithm is going to keep suggesting them more videos in the corner to watch, and they're going to keep watching more, self-educate themselves, self-qualify themselves, and then come back into your system and be ready to go as a buyer. We've got videos that were done 6 years ago that are still being consumed now and still building trust and recruiting people into the system. And I know it's because they tell me in training. Videos can answer all these objections. At 11 o'clock at night, you don't have to worry about speaking into anyone. And in the modern day way for people doing research now is they don't want to speak to anyone. They want to be able to go at their own pace. So making sure you have a library of all your videos there with different video types, which I'll do more videos on later, can really be beneficial, and it's a great investment for your marketing long term. So once you've got these 5 phases in place and you're contributing to adding the assets to them consistently, phase 6 is the most probably important phase that you need to do in this whole process. And that is being transparent about the content you put online. Any franchise brand that I look at outside of gyms and I look at their YouTube channel, it's all the highlights and it's all the great bits about being a franchisee in the system. It's all 90-second to 3-minute videos shot well produced, scripted, all that sort of stuff that traditional marketing would tell you. But for me, that doesn't resonate at all with franchisees, because you're not telling them the actual truth of what running a business is like. Running a business is hard. You don't want people coming into your system thinking it's going to be easy and that head office is going to do everything for me and I'm just going to make money hand over fist and not have to do anything, because that's what a lot of the videos look like to franchisees when you're just showing the highlights of what it's like. So when you're doing content, you need to be really transparent about the financials, the unit economics, what's actually involved in the training, but also show them if you follow the system and you do hard work, you will be successful. And that's ultimately what you do with the long form podcast, which I referred to earlier. But your content itself has to be really transparent about what you do. And the content will also filter and bring people into your system that align with your values and that become better qualified prospects. Because all franchise brands go, we want high quality leads, but you want to put nothing out there about your system, or you want to hide everything about an NDA. So you need to be really transparent about your content and put out there a lot of stuff. Do not get lawyers involved in your video content production process. They should not be involved. Obviously, you want to put out stuff that's compliant with wherever you are and the relevant laws in your country, but you should be an open book with your franchise system, because remember, people are making investment with either their house or their life savings into what you do. And the more information you put out there, the more they'll consume and the better fit they're going to be for your franchise system. Everyone's crapping on now about AI nurturing and AI selection, and we can target these people, etc. But your content is the filter and your content will do the targeting. So really make sure you be honest with what you're doing with your content strategy. Put out there everything about your system, and you're going to be surprised about how many people come into your training and say, can't believe how transparent and honest you are. I really align with your values. And you're going to find those people are going to be great franchisees for your system. But you've got to put it out there online. So to recap, you want to make sure with phase 1, you have a founder personal brand online. Make them do it. There's no excuses not to do it. If Jim can do it, anyone can do it. So make sure you have a channel where you're putting out consistent founder content. And if you're just starting up, I'd suggest LinkedIn, maybe get some YouTube videos done, but just start. Number 2 is really looking at your marketing strategy and allowing your franchisees to create content at a local level. Because believe me, if people are looking into your system and they know that the franchisees run their own social media accounts, they will ask them questions. And that's a really good one for building trust that you don't have to do anything about. Number 3, go hard on short form content. All the platforms want short form content from the time being. So make sure you're giving lots of different short form content to multiple platforms all the time. Number 4, make sure you start a podcast for your franchise brand. It's an absolute no-brainer, but a lot of brands still don't have it in 2026. Let your franchisee stories do the selling for you in a long form format. Number 5, invest in YouTube. It is the best investment you'll do for your franchise recruitment marketing by having a consistent stream of transparent video content into a YouTube channel. And over time, you'll see a dramatic increase in the leads quality and the actual closing rate of your recruitment sales. And then number 6, you need to be transparent about what you do. People don't believe the BS 90-second franchise recruitment testimonials anymore. They are garbage, they are done. Be transparent, be open about what you do. There's so many different places in your franchise brand that you can go, but you've just got to have the courage to put it online, and you will be very surprised about the reaction you get. Now, where would I start with all this? I would just start getting serious about YouTube. And the other thing I would start about is joining the Franchise Marketer newsletter at franchisemarketer.co, or checking out the Franchise Marketer podcast, where I share advice like this every week. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe for more.